Good morning, everyone. Now, this Sana 9, we have arranged a virtual trip to the Rudra Environment Solutions Private Limited, and we are going to take you on a short visit to the company, as well as we'll make you meet Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar, who will be the guest for honor for today. So, what is the program? We have a brief introduction about the plastic, waste segregation and its benefit, a trip to Rudra Environment Solutions, addressed by the guest of honor, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar, question answer session with her. Then we'll have our principal's address. We'll have a Google assessment feedback and vote of thanks.
It's not audible. It's not audible.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just share it again, maybe.
Bottles, empty and discarded.
Is it audible now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Their journeys are about to diverge with outcomes that impact nothing less than the fate of the planet. But they weren't always this way. To understand where these bottles end up, we must first explore their origins. The heroes of our story were conceived in this oil refinery. The plastic in their bodies was formed by chemically bonding oil and gas molecules together to make monomers. In turn, these monomers were bonded into long polymer chains to make plastic, in the form of millions. Those were melted at manufacturing plants and reformed in molds to create the resilient early liquid, and they were then wrapped, shipped, bought, opened, consumed, and unceremoniously discarded. And now here they lie, poised at the edge of the unknown. Bottle 1, like hundreds of millions of tons of his plastic brethren, ends up in a landfill. This huge dump expands each day as more trash comes in and continues to take up space. As plastics sit there being compressed amongst layers of other junk, rainwater flows through the waste and absorbs the water-soluble compounds it contains, and some of those are highly toxic. Together, they create a harmful stew called leachate, which can move into groundwater, soil, and streams, poisoning ecosystems and harming wildlife. It can take Bottle 1 an agonizing 1,000 years to decompose. Bottle 2's journey is stranger, but unfortunately no happier. He floats on a trickle that reaches a stream that flows into a river, and a river that reaches the ocean. After months lost at sea, he's slowly drawn into a massive vortex where trash accumulates, a place known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Here, the ocean's currents have trapped millions of pieces of plastic debris. This is one of 5 plastic-filled gyres in the world's seas, places where the pollutants turn the water into a cloudy plastic soup. Some animals, like seabirds, get entangled in the mess. They and others mistake the brightly colored plastic bits for food. Plastic makes them feel full when they're not, so they starve to death and pass the toxins from the plastic up the food chain. For example, it's eaten by lanternfish. The lanternfish are eaten by squid. The squid are eaten by tuna, and the tuna are eaten by us. And most plastics don't biodegrade, which means they're destined to break down into smaller and smaller pieces called microplastics, which might rotate in the sea eternally. But Bottle 3 is spared the cruel purgatories of his brothers. A truck brings him to a plant where he and his companions are squeezed flat and compressed into a block. Okay, this sounds pretty bad too, but hang in there. It gets better. The blocks are shredded into tiny pieces, which are washed and melted so they become the raw materials that can be used again. As if by magic, Bottle 3 is now ready to be reborn as something completely new. For this bit of plastic with such humble origins, suddenly, the sky is the limit.
So now that was just to tell you a brief about what happens to the plastic and what way the plastic's fate can be decided if it depends on you. There is one more video for you to see why we need to segregate the waste. One minute, children. That was just the need that we have to do it right now. That is, we have to need to segregate our waste properly so that we are also saved and even the rag pickers are saved from the health hazards. Now we just have a visit to a Rudra Environmental Solution India Limited. The plastic is converted to fuel by using a process called thermocatalytic depolarization. It's just the reverse how the plastic is made. Polymerization is a process by which plastic is made, and depolymerization is we are breaking down the plastic again into the small components, and that will turn into a fuel. Rudra company was established in 2009. It is an ISO certified company. It converts waste plastic through TCD process, which was developed in-house. TCD is thermocatalytic catalytic depolymerization. Manufacturers TCD plans to ensure highest quality. Make in India technology is financially viable plans and help in Swachh Bharat mission. This is the reality of the plastic, that what happens to the plastic that we throw. Rudra solution, that is the B part of the, now we have a, it is be a part to the solution to the problem of pollution.
Renu Verma's day typically begins with back-breaking work. She shoulders the responsibility of feeding her family of 4. And for this, she needs to collect and chop firewood every day. She cannot afford to regularly purchase kerosene. And despite a government scheme under which poor households are provided with LPG, Renu's kitchen lacked a clean cooking fuel.
लकड़ी काट के लेके आती है और लकड़ी जलाती है। लकड़ी जलाने के बाद इसका धुआं भी फेंकता है और वास आता है। प्लास्टिक जलाती है, बर्तन काले होते हैं और बच्चों को भी प्रॉब्लम रहती है।
On the days she is unable to secure wood, she has to resort to burning plastic, available in plenty around her, which can leave her family and her at an increased risk for respiratory diseases like asthma and heart diseases. India alone generates close to 26,000 tons of plastic waste every year, making it the 15th largest plastic waste polluter in the world.
20 years ago, there was not such a problem because we Indians are brilliant recyclers. Clothes, we give it to somebody, paper, newspaper, we give it to kabadi wala. But when plastic came into our life, because it's such a brilliant product, we just didn't know what to do with it. It's cheap, it's versatile, and it just became part of our life. Bottles, thick plastic gets recycled, but especially thin plastic usually ends up in a landfill.
It is this type of thin plastic, known as multi-layered plastic packaging or MLP, that slips through the cracks of India's waste management system. MLPs are also glaringly absent from the dirty dozen list. The 12 single-use plastic items which have been banned in India starting October 2019. It was only in 2009 that Medha Tadpatrikar decided to take matters into her own hands, along with her business partner, Shirish Vartare.
First 3 to 4 months, we literally sat down with chemical engineers, mechanical engineers, polymer engineers, or anybody to do with plastics. And then realized plastic is a fossil fuel.
एक डोक्यात प्रश्न आला की जसं क्रूड ऑइल पासून म्हणजे पेट्रोल किंवा असं बनतं, क्रूड ऑइल पासूनच प्लास्टिक बनतं एवढं माहिती होतं. मग आम्ही म्हणलं असं उलटं करता येतं का? ते म्हणले असं काही करता येत नाही.
After months of research and failed experiments with the help of scientist friends, the duo adapted a technology that converts all kinds of plastic waste to get a high-grade fuel that is environment-friendly and has a high calorific value. With a production cost of 23 to 34 rupees per litre, this polyfuel can be used directly as a source of burning without any need for further processing.
When you burn this, the sulfur output is much less than the diesel. The diesel allowable sulfur content is around 80 ppm, while with us is 0.17 ppm. So emission wise is much more cleaner fuel.
In July 2009, they established a public limited company, Rudra Environmental Solutions, and set up a trial plant with a capacity of 50 kilograms in Zejuri on the outskirts of Pune city.
तो फिर आज कितना प्लास्टिक आ गया? बहुत आ गया.
But it was only in 2016 that they set up this third generation plant with a capacity of 500 kilograms that is the core of their plastic waste recovery facility.
आमच्याकडे दुसरा प्रश्न निर्माण झाला की जे काही प्लास्टिक आपल्याला या प्रोसेसमध्ये लागणार आहे तर ते प्लास्टिक आपण जमवलं पाहिजे. कारण जर बघितलं तर महानगरपालिका किंवा नगरपालिका यांच्या काही सिस्टीम आहेत तर त्याच्यामध्ये ते प्लास्टिक गोळा करणारी यंत्रणा कुठेही नव्हती. आमचा ट्रस्ट आहे, आम्ही ट्रस्टमधच्या माध्यमातून अशा वेगवेगळ्या ॲक्टिव्हिटी करत असतो. तर त्या ट्रस्टच्या माध्यमातून आम्ही ठरवलं की बाबा आपण स्वतः प्लास्टिक कलेक्शन का करू नये. कारण लोकांकडनं जर प्लास्टिक आपण जमा केलं तर पर्यावरणाचं रक्षण होईल आणि सेग्रिगेशन ॲट सोर्स आपण जे म्हणतो की जो कचरा जिथं निर्माण होतो तिथंच जर तो आपण कलेक्ट केला तर तो निसर्गामध्ये जाणार नाही.
So this is the easy reckoner that we use to make people aware of the kinds of plastic that is recyclable.
Local volunteer organizations like this group of residents from 34 housing societies are important in Rudra's fight against plastic pollution.
We go to societies, we talk to the people there, we tell them the ill effects of plastic and how Rudra is recycling in an environment friendly manner. And because we have been doing it from 2016, it has now become easy for us to convince societies and people in Kalyani Nagar.
At Aditya Garden City, an urban township in Pune, this has become a regular sight. Over 100 families in this residential complex segregate their waste and keep aside their plastic waste every day.
आमच्या घरातली ही छोटी सुद्धा काही एवढंच जरी प्लॅस्टिकचं काही झालं, डेकोरेशन आमच्याकडे गणपतीचं आम्ही घरात केलं, त्याचा साधा कागद होता तर तो सुद्धा त्या माझ्या छोटीने आजी आपल्या ह्या कलेक्शनमध्ये ठेवायचं आहे ना असं विचारलं. चॉकलेट खाल्लं तरी सुद्धा ती छोटीशी चांदी असली तरी सुद्धा ती त्या कलेक्शनच्या पिशवीमध्ये आपण आणून नेऊन ठेवत असते.
Once a fortnight, the residents drop off their collected plastic at a pre-decided location. Employees from the Keshav Sita Memorial Trust, a sister concern of Rudra's, conduct these pickups from over 15,000 locations in a 150-kilometer radius in and around Pune city. Every day, Dhanave Ananta Baji Rao drives the pickup truck for 70 to 80 kilometers and ends up collecting over 300 kilograms of plastic waste.
रोज का एक 30-40 सोसाइटी का कलेक्शन रहता है. कलेक्शन का रोज करते हैं. वारजे, बानेर, बालेवाड़ी, विमान नगर, कल्याणी नगर, सहकार नगर, पर्वती, इन सब एरिया में कलेक्ट करते हैं और वो बाद में वो शिवने में गोड़वाने उसमें देते हैं. उसमें से बड़ी गाड़ी करके वो जेजूरी में जाता है.
आता हे गोळा केलेलं प्लास्टिक आहे ते आम्ही कंपनीत आणतो. कंपनीत आणल्यानंतर त्याचं सेग्रिगेशन होतं. हार्ड प्लास्टिक आणि ह्या पिशव्या किंवा MLP म्हणतात, मल्टीलेअर प्लास्टिक, हे सगळं वेगळं केलं जातं. ते आल्या आल्या आम्ही डस्ट क्लिनिंग मशीनमध्ये घालतो. डस्ट क्लिनिंग मशीनमधनं त्याच्यावर जी बसलेली धूळ असते ती खाली पडते. डस्ट क्लिनिंग मशीनमधनं ते खाली आल्यानंतर आपण ते ॲग्लो मशीनमध्ये टाकतो. त्याचा व्हॉल्यूम रिड्यूस करण्याच्या दिवशीने ग्रॅन्युअलसारख्या फॉर्ममध्ये आपण ते बारीक करतो आणि त्याच्यानंतर ते मशीनमध्ये लोड करतो. त्याचप्रमाणे शॅम्पूच्या बाटल्या असतात किंवा जे हार्ड प्लास्टिक असतं त्याला ग्राइंडिंग मशीन किंवा श्रेडिंग मशीनमध्ये घालतो आणि त्याचाही व्हॉल्यूम कमी करतो. आणि असं मिक्स टाईपचं प्लास्टिक आम्ही आमच्या प्रोसेसमध्ये किंवा आम्ही रिॲक्टरमध्ये लोड करतो. आता या इकडचा कंपनीचा विचार केला तर साधारण 300 किलो प्लास्टिक आम्ही लोड केल्यानंतर त्याच्यामध्ये जे आमचं कॅटलिस्ट आहे ते कॅटलिस्ट ॲड करतो, त्याच्यानंतर ते रिॲक्टर पूर्ण बंद केला जातो. ही जी प्रोसेस आहे त्याला थर्मोकॅटॅलिटिक डिपॉलिमरायझेशन प्रोसेस असं म्हणतात. ही इन ॲब्सेन्स ऑफ ऑक्सिजन, म्हणजे ऑक्सिजन विरहित ही प्रक्रिया व्हायला पाहिजे, कारण ऑक्सिजनशी जर त्याचा संपर्क आला तर त्याला आग लागू शकते. त्यामुळे हे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं आहे की कुठेही ऑक्सिजन तुमच्या प्रोसेसमध्ये आत जाणार नाही, प्लांटमध्ये आत जाणार नाही.
Instead of being burnt, the plastic waste in the reactor is gradually heated. Between 150 and 200 degrees Celsius is when the plastic starts to melt.
ये निकालने का है, इधर दूसरा प्लांट आएगा.
And between 380 to 430 degrees Celsius, it depolymerizes. The oil that remains is the polyfuel, which is filtered, stored, and readied for dispatch. Not only is it sold at a cost of rupees 40 per litre to companies, it also reaches people like Renu.
वो लकड़ी से मेरे को ये जो ऑयल जलाते हैं तो पर्यावरण मेरे को अच्छा है, बच्चों को नुकसान नहीं करता, बच्चे के लिए सेहत को अच्छा रहता है, इसका बर्तन काला नहीं होता, वो अच्छा मेरे लिए अच्छा है, मेरे को पर्यावरण जो है तो दूषित नहीं है.
Rudra has successfully installed 10 plants for clients across Maharashtra and Gujarat. Their success can be attributed to the eco-friendly conversion technology. 100% of the plastic waste is recycled, with no waste generated in the process.
आता या प्रोसेसचं वैशिष्ट्य असं आहे, जर आम्ही साधारण 100 किलो प्लास्टिक त्याच्यामध्ये जर या प्रोसेसमध्ये टाकलं तर त्याच्यातनं किमान 55 लिटर ते कमाल 70 ते 80 लिटर इतकं याच्यातनं इंधन मिळतं. त्याला आम्ही पॉलिफ्युएल म्हणतो. याच्यातनं साधारण 10 ते 15% गॅस निर्माण होतो. तो गॅस आमच्या प्रोसेसमध्ये वापरतो. त्याच्यानंतर साधारण 3% 5 ते 60% त्याच्यातनं चार तयार होतो. तो चार आम्ही रस्त्यांसाठी वापरतो.
It remains to be seen whether polyfuel made from plastic waste has the potential to completely replace fossil fuels, a non-renewable resource which is fast depleting.
आम्ही त्याचे PUC जे आपल्याकडे टेस्टिंग होतं त्या टेस्ट लॅबमध्ये आम्ही टेस्टही केलं. आम्हाला PUC सेंटरमधनं विचारलं की याला जरा वास वेगळा येतोय, परंतु तुमच्या याच्यात म्हणजे कार्बन किंवा हे जे काय कार्बन मोनॉक्साईड किंवा जे आहे ते एकदम कमी आहे, हे काय आणलंय तुम्ही असं आम्हाला विचारलं. आमच्याकडे त्याचे रिपोर्ट्सही आहेत. पण कसं आहे, शेवटी सरकारनी पण आम्हाला मदत करायला पाहिजे किंवा या ऑइल कंपन्या आहेत त्यांनी ॲक्सेप्ट करायला पाहिजे.
For now, there is hope in knowing that the fate of our plastic waste can be transformed significantly. Instead of decomposing for several hundred years in landfills, it can be put to an alternate use.
त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही ठरवलं की बाबा हे मॉडेल आहे, हे फक्त स्वतः प्लांट लावून उपयोग नाही, कारण तुम्ही एकटे किती प्लांट लावणार. त्यामुळे प्लांट तयार करून विकले गेले पाहिजेत आणि कंपनीचं पूर्ण स्ट्रक्चर त्याच्यावरच डिपेंड आहे. म्हणजे आपण प्लांट विकले तर तो एक इन्कमचा चांगला सोर्स होऊ शकतो.
Children, please mute yourself. Yes, I'll just continue, children. 1 minute. Any doubts till now? Any questions till now?
No, ma'am.
No one?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, this fuel can also be used for vehicles, right?
Yes, but it should be accepted, right? First.
Are the people on board?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay. I wanted to ask them a few questions.
Yes, sir, sure. So this is the
Yeah, but we can have the video where we have shown them the tips related to it. If you have finished with this one,
yes, ma'am.
by the time ma'am comes in.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Now this is the children. This is the plant that was first put. That was the 50 kg capacity, then 300 capacity, and this is the.
Dr. Medha has joined.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Then I'll just. This is the pre-process. What is done? I'll just first we'll have a talk with ma'am, and then I'll just get back.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, may I ask a question?
1 minute, beta. We'll just. Medha, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Now, Dr. Medha, a serial entrepreneur, is a director of Mantra Research and Consultant Private Limited, Phoenix General Insurance Broker Private Limited, and Rudra Environmental Solutions India Limited. She, being marketing expert, having an experience of 16 years into marketing, research, and training with renowned Indian and European companies. She has strong hold over areas such as branding, promotion, market research, quantitative and qualitative analysis, product positioning and repositioning, brand equity, brand audit, etc. She is a regular writer to newspaper on management and social issues. Environmentally conscious from her early age, Medha ma'am found herself working on waste plastic. Now, children, you can see how many qualifications she has. She has done MBA from Nottingham University, UK, LLB from Pune University, MSc in Psychology, Diploma in subjects ranging from IPR, journalism, marketing, forensic science, PhD in branding. She is the recipient of many awards like Yadna Walka Award, Sukhakarta Award, Pune branch of VIRC of ICAI, Eminent in Entrepreneur and Phoenix Leading Lady 17 Award. She is a trained Bharatanatyam and Kathak dancer. Currently, she devotes majority of her time in creating awareness on plastic. Welcome, Medha ma'am. Now I hand over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for today inviting me. And hello, all the students of 9th standard. And I believe the principal sir is also, joining soon. So thank you very much, first of all.
I'm already on board.
Oh, hello, sir. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay.
Yes, hello.
Please
hello,
carry
sir.
on. Carry on.
Yeah. So, I believe you were taking a tour about our facility. I'll just like to tell you the story behind it because, when you study, all of us think of, waste as something that it is not our job. We want to study, we want to make a lot of money, we want to, have a good position in life. That's why all of us, do better, take degrees, go to good colleges. And at the end of the time, the one thing that which is constant, which is always going to be there is a waste, and we don't give it much thought. I always always tell people that, we eating food, and the moment we throw it in a bin, it becomes waste, and then you don't want to touch it. So, we were exactly like that. So I'm not saying that, we are not, but we were exactly like that. And in 2009, something changed. We had gone to one of the wildlife sanctuary and we saw a deer killed. After inquiring what happened, post-mortem, they found a big plastic bags inside the stomach. See, what happens is, if we throw, people like just you and me, we go to the wildlife sanctuaries, we have our, chips, things like that. And the usual habit is just throw the wrapper. and just people like you and me, do that. And especially during the summertime, all the animals require a lot of salt, you know, and they try to eat, lick it from inside the packet, and with that the packet goes in. Or you must have seen lot of dogs or cows eating something in the garbage, and usually they will have, they don't know how to break the plastic bags to get to that food inside. So they will just eat that plastic, and the plastic will stay inside the stomach of the animal. Usually they have a, that much fistful of stomach, and slowly that plastic will accumulate in the body, and slowly the size of the stomach becomes, at least to pea size, very small, and the animals die because of the thirst and the hunger. And we were very upset, and we thought, when we came back, we the first thing we used to say, how can people do that? The second thing we always said, hey, somebody needs to do something about it, because we always want somebody else to do something about it. And after a few months we thought, hey, this is not it, at least let's find out what plastic is. And I'm so happy that you are learning at this age, because it took us a lot of time, lot of years to learn all this. And that's we did, we literally asked people to come and tell us about what plastic is, what it is made up of, how long it takes for it to disintegrate naturally. And what we found was, it's a hydrocarbons, or from a fossil fuel you get plastic. So from hydrocarbons or a fossil fuel where you get diesel and petrol from, is you get naphtha. From naphtha they add a lot of chemicals to make the plastic. And it is one of the wonderful products, don't get me wrong, it's our habits are that's our that's the problem. And it took us also, we were surprised that it takes more than 500 years to 1000 years, and nobody knows exactly how many, because this is all scientific guess, but it's minimum 4 to 500 years. So it's like more, we are not going to see in our lifetime, even a small piece of chocolate wrapper, we throw it right now. So we said, what can be done? And we had no idea. Me and another our co-founder Shirish Vartare, we are not engineers. So as ma'am was telling, my whole background is in marketing, but we had a curiosity, at least to learn. And it was a simple thing, like seeing a piece of ice melt, where it was, the thought was, if water turns to ice turns to water, can we do exactly the same thing? And that was the only thought. From a day one we were ready for that we are not going to succeed, because you just, but we just wanted to explore. And we actually did it, started in our kitchen. We put lot of our own money into it, because when you're doing something crazy out of the box, nobody wants to give you the money. So we literally put our house in a mortgage the house. We did everything what we could to learn. And I think in the whole journey, what helped us was asking questions. What we did not know, we just asked questions, that can you explain this to us? And we did a lot of experiments, and finally we managed to uh, you know uh, make first machine which successfully converted waste plastic into usable fuel. But that's where it gets more interesting, because somebody came and said, you are emitting the gases, and which are harming the environment. So we said, okay, we can't, we are doing something good and we can't do something bad for the environment. So we scrapped that project. And it took us, but when you start working on something, that curiosity, that passion, and if you are ready, that you may not succeed also, that I think you go, you want to go on. And it took us almost 2.5 years. to understand what this gas was. So we realized this gas is a propane, mutane, pane, butane, similar to our LPG mix, and which can be used as a heating source. So, we built a second machine in 2014 where we started using this gas as a heating source. So the whole machine runs on the gas and the fuel that is produced in the in the process itself, and we call this as a thermocatalytic depolymerization. It means we are literally reversing the plastic making process with the heat, with the use of heat and with the use of catalyst. So that is in a nutshell what we do. I think you've seen the video of exactly the process. And once I think the COVID and everything just goes down a bit, and we open up our facility for the visitors, I would definitely like you to come and see, because I even after that many years I still get excited when I see that plastic melting and the fuel coming out, because uh, that gives you still the buzz of, yes, you're doing something. And when we were doing that since 2014, see, when you're doing something, naturally you want to tell all of your friends, family, people and that's when we started collection, because somebody said it's good that you're coming. We do segregate into dry and wet waste, but the person who comes to pick up my waste, the use of you doing something and you doing something and telling us. So it was a simple thing. It is so easy to tell people do this, do that. But what we realize is, if you do not support and just create awareness but don't give a solution, things don't move. And that's how we started collection of waste plastic from households, schools, offices, hotels, and everywhere. And today we are almost collecting from more than 35,000 households in Pune. We are also collecting from more than 20,000. So in last 6-7 years we have impacted more than 2.5 lakh people. At the same time, we have collected more than 30 lakhs of thin plastic, which otherwise would have ended up in a landfill. And if remember, if you can save the 1 kilo of plastic going into the landfill, it means 6 kilograms of carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions you're saving. So it's a huge impact. See, because uh, you know your generation is what is going to look after our earth. It's going to look after our nature environment. So unless and then we do something, today, the climate change and the impact of it is going to affect everyone's life. Talk to your grandparents, your parents, and they will say how much the weather has pattern has changed. It's all is everything is connected, just like we are connected. Whatever we do, whatever actions we take, is going to have a long lasting effect. So when we are throwing something, or when we are not thinking about what happens to our waste, it's going to have a long impact, just not for today, tomorrow. It's going to have for the hundreds of years. There was somebody says that if you don't like it, you say, hey, I'm just going to leave this, please. You get angry, you get angry with your parents, and you just go from one room to another. It's not going to happen, because this is the only one earth we have. So we can't leave it, at least for now. There are things happening, maybe 50 years down the line, you never know. We might have the colonies on moon and Mercury, and we just don't know. But at present, this is what it is. And Stephen Hawking, who was the brilliant scientist, he said, if we don't change today, we may not have the earth in 300 years down the line. Now, a lot of you will think, hey, who cares what happens 300 years down the line? But we should care, because see, we need the nature, we need the environment. environment or the nature has been there for the, even we were born. So we have to take care of it. We have to plant the trees. We have to make sure we don't litter. We have to make sure that, we recycle. And we also have to make sure that we take care of ourselves as well. So if we do that, then the synergy of the world, the synergy of the environment is going to be much stronger, is going to be much better for all of us. So you know but I'm so glad today that you all are here, and you all want to know about what's happening. And I would uh, tell you one thing, that waste management is the most exciting sector that is emerging, not only in India, but it is emerging worldwide. So, if you're thinking about the career, this is the best thing, you can think of, because a lot of innovations are happening. We need brilliant minds coming in and, making the innovations of, how to segregate, how to recycle, what else can be done. So lot of things, and because one thing is sure, we can, whatever we use, it's always going to be waste, including us. So waste is going to be there. Waste is always going to be generate waste every day. So please, think of this as a career option as well. And you have any questions, please, I think somebody was asking when I joined, somebody was asking a question. So please, go ahead.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, children, these are the different uses that we have seen. What ma'am has already told us, that the fuel which is being produced by Rudra is used in agricultural pumps, furnace, generators, boilers, incinerators, cooking purposes. Ma'am has given such a detailed the picture of the company and what work is being done there. Keshav Sita Trust helps ma'am to actually collect waste and then segregate, right? So
we create awareness.
Yes.
Because see, awareness is the key of any waste management.
Yes,
if you don't know what is plastic, what is wet garbage, what is dry things, and remember, because see, simple, in your house you get a milk packets which are 1 or 2 milk packets, so you can wash it. But the moment they get mixed with wet garbage and come into somewhere, it's a nightmare of segregation. It's a nightmare of cleaning. You're going to require a lot of water. So the first emphasis is on creating awareness of types of waste, how to segregate, and then it should go for the recycling.
These are some awards that Rudra has received. I tried to get some pictures of them. Then this is for the Keshav Sita Memorial Foundation Trust. Now, children, the forum is open to you all for the question answers. Raise your hand. I will ask you to ask the question. Then you can speak. The rest of you all, keep yourself muted, please. Yes. Yes, Ishika Rahul.
Yes, ma'am. So I wanted to know, what is your annual turnover that you're planning to inspire shareholders to invest in your company?
Okay. We already have the foreign funding which we received, a couple of years ago, and it is in crores. We are the public limited company, but we are not listed yet. But we do have now good turnover, which hoping that it goes into the 100 crores in few years time.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, hello.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Now, children, please let ma'am finish and raise your hand. I'll let you ask you the question, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Sorry to interfere in between. Yes, who was it? Anushri Singh. Next question, please.
Ma'am, some people use plastic, a single-use plastic, because they're not able to afford different materials like metals, and sometimes in plastic is more like it conducts electricity better. Like we have the plastic layer on the plugs and on the switches. So is there any other material which we can use which is cheaper and also available everywhere?
No, it isn't. So it's you. There are two different things. Single-use plastic. A lot of things what we use are a single-use plastic, but right now the government has listed like straws, cutlery, uh, thin bags as a single-use plastic, which are which have been banned simply because the single-use we will not use it again. So there are packaging also comes under the single-use, but that is not under the ban category of single-use plastic. And like I said, plastic is such a versatile, cost-effective, and a brilliant product. So no, there isn't anything, and you can't use metal for the plugs as well. So it needs to, because you know all about the electricity conductivity on all that. So unless and until we invent, and there are scientists who are actually working on this, but it will take another 30 to 40 years to get something, as brilliant as plastic. Hey, remember one thing: the plastic has revolutionized the industry. You must have learned that industrial revolution came because of the stainless steel. Now the retail revolution has come because of the plastic, because it increases the shelf life of the product. So instead of having it for the couple of days, you can have it for the couple of months on a shelf. So the we using less wastage. Plastic also came as a alternative for the paper, because paper, to make the paper, the energy and the water consumption is huge. So unless and until we find something, no, we can't use anything else right now. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mahi Srivastava.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I saw your TEDx speech and it was very inspiring. Even today, you said, like, I quote, in 2009, me and my business partner, Shirish Fattare, had gone to a wildlife sanctuary. There we saw a deer killed. After inquiring, we found out the deer died because of plastic in its stomach, unquote. Ma'am, you even mentioned this situation inspired you to start the business. But how is the company planning to collect plastic from these forest regions so that animals aren't harmed anymore due to plastic?
See, actually, the animals don't take the plastic inside. It's people like you and me who take the plastic inside. Actually, you are not allowed to take plastic inside the wildlife sanctuary, but a lot of people think, hey, we are taking something inside, and that's okay. So basically, we need to teach people that it's not okay to take something in, and it's not okay to litter or throw anything where the animals can find it. We are actually working with the forest department and collecting from wildlife sanctuaries as well. So volunteers come in and they can collect whatever is outside, and then we bring it to our plant and then recycle it. But it just we have to change. All of us have to change our habits.
Mute yourself, children, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mahi. It was a good question. Arush Pariskar, next one.
Yes, ma'am. So, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, so as we know that, ma'am, originally plastic is a non-flammable substance, ma'am. It can't catch fire easily. It will melt. It will melt, but it can't catch.
It does. Try to burn it. It will catch fire.
Ma'am, it would, like, just set on fire, right, and completely burn.
Okay, finish your question and then I'll come.
Ma'am, so how in which particular step does it become flammable, ma'am?
Okay. Basically, plastic is it is combustible. In various, if you go and see the villages, if they don't have something to light, they will always light the plastic to create the heat. Plastic does, so try to see. You must be seeing the MLP, so it goes like a small ball, but it does burn. And see, basically in our process, we don't burn plastic, we actually heat it and melt it. So the chemical reaction is different. But plastic does, because it is a hydrocarbon, it does, burn. So that is why sometimes there are many chemicals are added, so it becomes non-flammable and things like that. Especially the food kind of a food grade plastic, lot of chemicals are added. But if you look at other kind of plastic, it does burn at certain temperature, different temperatures. So in our thing, the plastic usually melts around 160, 190 degrees, and then it releases the gases, and that's what happens. And our process usually finishes by 430 degrees. But if you take it to the 800, 900 degrees, and sometimes plastic can be taken in a plasma up to 2000 degrees as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good question, though.
Yes, ma'am. They are very inquisitive, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Harshita, can I have the next one? After Harshita,
Yes,
Neil,
ma'am.
and then Jagat, okay? Harshita?
So this was a really great program that we just saw. So it got me thinking, like, how can we as standard 9 students, how can we help in this reducing waste of plastic?
uh, Simple things you can change in your life. Instead of using straws, just use the glass. That's what our lips and our hands are for. Or wherever you don't require things, like nowadays you have a cotton bud, uh, or whatever things are last. A lot of people use the water bottle which is bought, and then we reuse that again and again. Now in that, the problem is, if you keep the if you see the bottle, usually there is a mention in the water bottle that you should use it, sell, by 6 months, sell by date kind of a thing. It's not for the water, it is for the packaging, because after a while the chemicals in that plastic bottle start to leach in that water. So you need to think, that you will not use that bottles, or get a good bottles which are BPA free, that is bisphenol A free. They are usually mentioned, behind the uh, on a packaging. Also try to use the metal, or even the glass is good, because glass can be recycled many times. It's made from silica. So simple things. Don't buy if you don't require. I know that is difficult, but you can do that, something like.
Ma'am, you're muted, I guess.
And you can segregate. Sorry about that. You can segregate the plastic and make sure that it gets recycled. You can all start segregating at home, and when the schools open, you can bring it to school, and we can collect it from there as well.
That will be great, ma'am, if it is possible.
Yeah, we definitely can do that. We do
Yes,
come
ma'am.
to in Amanora and other parts. So yes, definitely we can do that.
Yes. Due to time constraint, maybe we can take 2 or 3 questions more, and after the teachers, you can also ask questions if you want. Neil, can we have your next question, please?
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to appreciate you, ma'am, you and your team, ma'am. Ma'am, it is very interesting project. I like it. Ma'am, my question is that, ma'am, is there any other use of the oil, ma'am, which is produced after melting the plastic?
I did not catch the last bit.
And the question is there any other use of the fuel being produced by the plastic?
It's like a fuel. It's like a diesel and petrol. So it can be used for burning. A lot of people ask, can it be used in a vehicles? It can be used in a vehicle, but you require a lot of research and lot of licenses, and they cost a lot of money, which we don't have right now. So we are saying we have done it in a lab, in a research uh, surroundings, but otherwise it can be used for burning in
Incinerators, boilers, it can be used.
So it can be used for the incinerators, burners, boilers, things like that. And the I'm extremely sorry. My laptop couldn't start in the morning, so I'm just using my mobile and I'm just getting some calls. So the char can be used in the roads. It can be used as a colorant for the tires. But fuel is a fuel, so it needs to be used as something for the burning.
Jagat?
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, congratulations for the fuel that you're producing and the idea that you got. Ma'am, I had a question, ma'am. What inspired you? Ma'am, if we see nowadays, people have also started to take plastic from the fallen on the roads and throwing it in the bin or cleaning the roads. Ma'am, but you having the idea of you and your partner having the idea of taking the plastic and converting into a fuel. How did you get that idea? Like, how did it strike, and how much effort did it take to make that plastic into fuel?
Yeah, just ma'am, can you just repeat last because I was getting a call. So how much what?
Ma'am, how much time it took for you to just?
It took us almost 8 to 9 months from start to produce, to build the first machine. And then it took us almost, we actually ran our own machine in our own facility, did all the research. So first machine we literally sold where we knew that, we don't need to do anything else on it, was 2017. So it took us almost 7.5 years to come actually to the market. Long time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Lakshmi, I think we have still 2 minutes left. Can we have your question, Lakshmi?
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, Medha ma'am, it's been a pleasure to meet you and know you and to know what the inspiration was and your idea. So my question is, in the video I saw a lady using the fuel produced by the plastic and she was using in a stove to make her food. But just like we have LPG cylinders in a house, can we compress that liquid into gas, pressurized gas, and use it? So I can know it has more scope of using it.
See, basically, we do get the gas out from in a process. We do compress, but the compression units are, like what we have for the LPG. That gas is compressed, is huge amount. So if you see if you go in your kitchen and see, it's a 16 kilogram of gas that is compressed in a small cylinder. So it's a huge amount. While if you see our gas tank, in that we hardly have like 20 kilos and it's more than 8. So we don't compress because that machinery costs lot of money and doesn't make any sense. So we looked at it, but it is better to have it right now as a liquid fuel. We don't know what will, if we keep on, because we are working on various other things, like using the solar and other things as well. So maybe 2 years down the line, I don't know what we might have, but at present, no, it can't be. We just can't get the gas. Say a lot of companies are already doing that, but we are just doing it from plastic, and the fuel is something what is more uh, viable and profitable, and that's what we are doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's really difficult, children, to take all the questions because of the time constraint. There are many hands raised, and
I will share my email and send it to me, and I'll answer each and every.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll surely do that. Now, I request our principal, sir, to address the gathering, please.
Yeah. At the outset, I would like to thank ma'am for such an eye-opener. And the fact that you've opened up another arena for not just the future, but I think how best we can look at our current position vis-a-vis recycling of waste, etc., etc. So I think not only as a career, But as an obligation, as a duty to society, I think we ought to be a little more conscious with regards to how we are disposing even something as minuscule, as you rightly said, a toffee wrapper. So I think if some of us, even if some of us could begin to imbibe what you told us and take away from this that the gargantuan effort that has gone into your effort to make this a more livable planet, and we put in our little bit, and all the little bits accumulate to make a greener, more environmental friendly place, I think we will begin to take bigger strides towards a better environment. So ma'am, I can't thank you enough, and I'm actually waiting for this pandemic to get over so we can actually visit, physically visit your system, and I don't know if we could miniaturize your unit and put one up in each school so that we on our behalf could actually do our little bits for the environment, the earth, the town that we live in, try and clean it. I mean, even in a town, or a township where if we could collect all the waste plastic and begin to recycle it, I think it would give the students a first-hand experience of the same. So I think it's a wonderful initiative, and I would like to thank everybody here, especially you, Medha ma'am, for having taken time out and given us an exposure into this, I don't know, this eye-opener experience of yours. Rima ma'am, thank you so much, and all the others who've got together to organize this, and I hope the students of class 9, if you can begin the initiative and begin to make a difference by bringing about a change even in your family disposal system, that would be a change. So thank you, everybody. This has been a wonderful experience. I can't tell you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. Rima ma'am, would you like to add a little?
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to thank Medha ma'am to have consented with a busy schedule that she is in. And I was quite scared to call her, in fact, initially. And when I did, I mean, the way she reacted and she said, yes, I would like to come. She was happy to come to our school. She wanted to spend some time with us. So thank you very much, ma'am, for coming in. And I'm sure it will make a difference in our school, amongst our students and teachers. It has affected me majorly, and that's how I got connected with Keshav Sita. And I am now very, very careful about how to dispose of plastic. And I want this to come into our school very strongly. And I take this platform to also request you that if we can collect the plastic in our school, and maybe the Keshav Sita Foundation van can come into our school, we can decide on a date. And if we can do that, I mean, it will help the children to learn. At the same time, again, we will be saving a lot of plastic getting into the landfills. So thank you once again, ma'am, for coming in. It was a pleasure to have you in our school. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to say, thank you very much for inviting. And definitely, we will definitely come to your school. We come, like I said, to Amanora itself. Coming to school, because we believe, it's even the small little thing helps. So nobody should think if I'm just got a couple of bottles or couple of wrappers, that also adds up. So, start slow, start small, and I think together we can make a large impact. And we will definitely come. I would love to come and see you soon. I'll definitely do that soon. But thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Together we make a difference. That is our school logo also, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll just take another 5 minutes, children. There is a small 2 minutes video, and then we'll have a Google assessment and a vote of thanks. So another 5 minutes.
I think you can share the link, ma'am, and can start off with a vote of thanks first. Yes.
Sure, ma'am. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll just Sanika.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I request Sanika to give the vote of thanks. In the meantime, children, in the chat box, you have the link for the Google assessment as well as the feedback. So you are going to write it, and at the same time, Sanika, please start with the vote of thanks button.
Okay, ma'am. A warm and graceful morning to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar, Principal Sir, teachers, and my dear friends. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who really worked hard to make this virtual trip come awareness session happen, and that too with so much enthusiasm and participation. I, Sanika Gitte, on behalf of Pawar Public School and all present here, extend my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace the session. We had the opportunity to hear her thoughts and vision, and this will surely encourage and motivate us to be a part of a solution to tackle the problem of plastic pollution. A program like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. I thank the enjoy@excursion.com team of Pawar Public School to arrange such an informative and motivating awareness session and virtual trip to Rudra Environmental Solutions India Limited. I extend my heartiest gratitude to our principal, who has truly been supportive in promotion of comprehensive awareness about the sustainable development goals amongst the students. A special mention to our headmistress for being the catalyst that stimulated the entire process and made it happen. Thank you so much, Rima ma'am. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Anshul Verma for conducting the session and making the whole program interactive and lively. I also like to thank the teachers who made it for the session, and at last, I would like to thank my friends who were not only calm, attentive, and patient listeners, but also brought forth interesting questions. I would like to end with a quote: "The only solution to pollution is people's humane revolution." Thank you all. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, Sanika.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
the virtual
Ma'am, the
school link
Google
is not
form is
working.
not
It
open.
says we
Permission,
need
ma'am.
permission. It's showing that we need permission to access.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, 1 minute. I'll just do that. Till that time, thank you so much, ma'am, for being there and for your valuable time.
Has ma'am left?
That Pune has to be taken out.
I'll just do that. Just give me 1 minute, children. Ma'am, till that time.
Can we have the tips?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just show
video
it
for them to see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, children, I would like you to see this and follow this as much.
Ma'am, since I'm sharing the screen, I'll need 1 minute time because of the form.
Ma'am, it was really an inspiring virtual tour, ma'am.
Really, you liked it?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it would be better if we all get together and work towards it. If we can do that and revolutionize this whole thing in our school itself,
Ma'am,
I
I
think it would be
request
really.
the school, after this pandemic is over and our school starts, I request that at least once in a month that we get a day to clean at least the surroundings of Amenora so that it can spread over to all over
Mama, I
Pune,
think
and
even
then
today we can, even today's day, like whatever we have in our house, once in a month we can come and keep it in our school and go whoever live nearby, and that can be given off to them.
Yes, I will have a talk with them and we will make an arrangement for this.
I'm
Sure.
really hopeful that we could make some difference, right, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Children, I'll send the link, and here's the video.
Hey. Yes, children, I hope you're writing the. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, do we mention